Good morning. Today is July 3rd actually, and I'm going to do my June garden tour. Unfortunately, I did not get to do it June 30th because I know I've mentioned in other videos I'm an attorney, and this past week I was actually trying a case, so by the time I finished on Wednesday I was just exhausted, and on top of that we've been having a heat wave. This season has definitely been a challenge. I'm going to do a podcast on that because I don't want to take up video time to talk to you guys about what was weird about this year, what changes I'm planning to make for this year. So let's get right outside and do the garden tour. Today, actually right now, it's 63 degrees, so it's perfect, and I have a lot of work to get done in the garden today. So I'll be talking a little bit about that, and there will probably be a video. So let's get started. Okay guys, first things first is, this is from my sycamore tree. It is shedding like really bad, and I don't even know if you guys can see it, but it's doing this in the front yard and the backyard, and so it's a mess, absolute mess, and I gotta get, I can actually mow over it and kind of like mulch it, but still, it's just a lot, and it's peeling off in these like huge layers. And then it's also dropped branches. So anyway, first things first, here are the rhododendrons and hydrangea. Now, in case you guys are wondering, these have not been on drip tube. These have been surviving just on the rain alone. This year we have gotten a lot of rain. We don't usually get quite this much rain, I feel like, in the season, but we have. So they've actually been doing really well. You can clearly tell that we've been having a lot of rain because let me take you over here. As you can see, there are mushrooms everywhere. So I do have to do some weeding in here, but it's really not bad, because I've got weed fabric underneath of there, and I really heavily mulched it. So there was some winter dieback, but it's recovering. I do need to trim those though, and I'll get to those eventually. And so let's go into, actually, you know what? We'll do the driveway beds later. So this is the purple section, the first purple section of the garden. This is the lilac tree, which is actually starting, I can see right now, it's starting to put on some new buds right here. So I really need to get this trellis so I can start doing the espalier. There's the germander, and that's the sundial lupine. The zinnia are really taking off. They were kind of small when I put in, but they grow fast. I've got some delphinium. This delphinium right here, this is called, let me focus. That's called Sky Blue with a White Bee. This purple thing is the Blue Spire Larkspur, which is really not as blue as they said it was going to be. There is some phlox that's down there that's starting to regenerate. With the phlox, because I had it in that raised bed, the roots grew out of it, and I think I damaged the roots when I pulled it out. So you'll see the ones that I haven't planted. It seems like they're starting to come back, but for a little bit, I was not sure. They were really flopping, but I think the roots are settling in, and it's getting established now. It's a really big zinnia. This is the delphinium. Ooh. See, so this one is it's not focusing, guys. It's driving me crazy. All right, come on. Oh, there we go. This is really a really pale sky blue. It does have a little purplish tinge. I'm wondering if that's my soil chemistry though. And so we take it on down here. And so yeah, so this is starting to fill in. I did plant some gladiolas, and I do see, like, for example, right there, one of them starting to come in. There's a bearded iris. And yeah, so I think once the gladiolus starts coming in, it's really going to fill out the section. Okay, so these are all the plants that I have left over that I'm going to fill in these middle sections with. Actually, you know what? I need to take these dahlias out of this pot. These dahlias actually did really well with the heat wave, probably because they were sitting in that pot that had some water in it, so it was probably keeping it well moisturized. These are leftover plants that I have. I've got some more blue over here. So right here is the second blue section, and then where the faucet is, to there is the white section. So let's come over here. So this is the green section with white accents, and so that's the Snow Country Dahlia. As you can see, the gladiolas are up. Oh man, the weeds, y'all. There's a lot of green rudbeckia in here. There's also some Shasta daisies, and I think I even put some white foxglove in here. And then this section is the green with pink. You know, I really don't understand why cars have to be so obnoxiously loud. So this is the green with pink section. Once again, I got to come in here and start weeding. These are the Youth Dew gladiolas, or the green ones. I got some pink agastache, which is also known as anise hyssop, and that was actually a lot smaller. It's put on a lot of growth. This right here is the green twister coneflower, which is looking good. I did put some Malva moschata hollyhocks that were pink in there. I did put a pink hibiscus in there. There is some green rudbeckia at the back, and I did put some celosia in here. And so yeah, there's a lot of pink. You know, that particular echinacea, it really should have a lot more green in it. I hope they didn't mislabel that. But yeah, I got to get here to do some weeding. There are some carnations in there. And yeah, so, and over here, the yellow section has gone completely crazy. I do have some weeds. It's really at the edges, because as you can see in the yellow section, I mean, the plants are really covering a lot of ground, and that obviously keeps the weeds down. So these, actually, you know what, I'm going to try to step in here without squashing anything, so y'all can see. See, as you can see, along the back here, where there's no coverage, there's weeds. So I'm going to get out here and weed this. These are hollyhocks. There's 3 different types of yellow hollyhock back here. These sunflowers right here are called Peach Passion. They are multi-branching. I think almost all those sunflowers I planted this year are multi-branching. These are the Pro-Cut Plum. This is the Graham Thomas rose, which is starting to send up like its typical like octopus arm, so that's good. That means it's liking this spot. And there are the hollyhocks. Some of the hollyhocks are big, some of them are kind of overshadowed, but that's fine because they're not going to bloom this year anyway. Let me get in here. Okay, so those right there are Seattle dahlias. Those little tall things right there and right there with the little, let me see if I can zoom in on it. That is a golden straw flower. I did not realize it was going to get quite that tall, which is why I put it at the front. So I'll have to keep that in mind for next year. Okay, so this is the next yellow section. The hollyhock, we're loving it. Actually, you know what? I take that back. That's a verbascum right there. I don't know which one. I'll have to wait till it's bloom. It's either the banana custard or something like that. More sunflower. Oh my gosh, more weeds. Wow. I take a break to prep for trial, and look what happens, guys. Okay, so that's a Coronation Gold yarrow. You know, I think yarrow is going to get a lot taller than 24 inches, which is what it says on the tag. When I went to the garden tour last weekend, I saw someone's yarrow. It was like 4 feet, and from what I remember, yarrow usually doesn't get that tall. So I think if I'm taking care of these babies, just give me 1 second. I'm waiting for the cars to pass. So I think if they're happy, especially with the organic fertilizer that I've been using, and it's enriched soil, I think they're going to get pretty. I think they're going to get pretty massive. But anyway, this section. Oh, and here's the rest of the Pro Cut plums. Love this. Love this. Love this. I'm really surprised they got as tall as they did because I left them in the cups way too long. And when I put them in, they were probably maybe a foot high, so I'm impressed they actually put on this amount of growth. So I am going to start a few more because I do like them. But yeah, surprisingly, there's no weeds under here. So I'm not really sure what that's going on with that because the rest of the section's got weeds. But I'm not complaining, less for me to do. This one right here, I'll zoom in on it. This is Double Dandy Sunflower. It's like a double. You know, it's a double bloom. Let me see if I can do this without it making everybody sick. And I can't focus on it. But yes, it's a double. I love that. So, this is the yellow section. And let me pull back so you guys can get a nice view. So this is the yellow section, guys. It filled in wonderfully. I'm very happy with how well this is done. Okay, so let me try to get through here without stepping on anything. Okay, guys, so this is the orange section right here. Orange section number 1. So I've got some salmon cream sweet pea in the back. Or maybe that might be Molly Rylestone, one or the other. And it's doing okay. Yeah, some of the sweet pea this year, I mean, don't get me wrong, I got good growth out of them because obviously that's taller than what I achieved last year. But I think our weather, because, I mean, sweet peas and, like, for example, regular snap peas, same family, they don't do well in heat. So I'm impressed they got that tall with how quickly it got hot. But next year, I'm going to have to work on some things on my end to get this stuff in the ground sooner. Okay, so right there, that is a dahlia. The dahlias are starting to bloom. I've got snapdragons. I think these are the Madam Butterfly. Oh, wait, there's one right there. So they're starting to open. These right here are 4 o'clocks. They're getting big. They're filling out. I've got some spots right here. So I actually do have some. Oh my gosh, I saw that leaf move. I thought it was a snake. Whew, okay, let me get my heart rate down, y'all. Okay, so you can see there's open spots. I do have some zinnias that are going to go in here, orange zinnias, to kind of fill this section out. I do have what's called butterfly flower, so I'm going to be tucking that in here and in there. I know you're probably wondering, like, where in there? Yeah, I'm going to make it work, though. I also have some orange, like a terracotta. It's like a more of an orangey yellowish, which is fine because this goes to yellow. But I've got some yarrow of that color that's going to go in here. As you can see, I like my beds full. Okay, I don't want to see the ground. I like packing my stuff out. I pack it tight because I just like I like the dense look. On top of that, it keeps you from having to weed. And as you can see, it don't have a lot of weeds in here. Okay, so that is the salmon, frosted salmon, peony poppy, which is a little bit more pink than I thought it was going to be. But once again, it could be my soil. Also, you know, I know sometimes, you know, if it's raining, if we get a lot of sun, that can also fade out the colors and change things. Ooh, I just noticed one of the calendula is starting to open. So that's great. Oh, and guys, this little purple flower, I know you guys were like, why is there purple in there? That's the germander. With this heat, it's usually not supposed to bloom until like July, August, but I think with the heat, it's making it bloom earlier. So as you can see, we're going, now let me just give you guys a look. Look how dense that is. And this is my first year in this space. And just imagine how it's going to look once the perennials really, you know, next year really get going. So the 4 o'clocks are in here. The Chantilly snapdragons are like, they're actually falling over. I need to get a better, I need to do a staking system. And that is something that I'll be working on next year, because right now I'm just trying to get everything set up. Okay, that is one of the chrysanthemums that I got from bluestone perennial. It's pulling on a lot of growth. Oh, it's got a bud. I'm going to have to clip that back so that it doesn't bloom too early. And then that right there, and that right there, I think that's one of the chamois, China asters that'll bloom in the fall. Okay, so that is the orange agastache. Love it, love it, love it. I have to stop myself from going too crazy with it and planting it everywhere. It has a lovely smell to it. I can see why they call it butterfly mint, because it does have a mint odor, but it also has a slight licorice smell to it as well. There's another one of the sweet peas. Actually, this poppy is getting ready to open. You know, I think with the poppies, guys, I think that might be a type of plant where you can kind of succession sow. Y'all know what I'm saying. Okay, so here are some of the nasturtiums, which have gotten ridiculously huge. These are the cherry rose jewel, something like that. And they're only supposed to get 1 foot high by 1 foot wide. Yeah, does that look like it's 1 foot high by 1 foot wide? Yeah, because it's not. It is just, I mean, it's growing wonderfully. It's spilling over the beds. I don't know. I feel like within the nasturtium, I think, well, number one, they're definitely bigger water babies than what is on the label. The label says that they're drought tolerant when established. I learned last year that that wasn't true. So they need a constant water supply, and then this is what they do. So I'm kind of curious, because this is not a trailing nasturtium, but I'm kind of wondering if it's going to grow across this 3-foot bed. We'll see. Well, I'll keep you guys posted. I'm probably going to have to cut it back because it is a little crazy. This one down here, I think this one got affected by aphids. I'm gonna Chelsea chop this one because it'll flush back. Now I know you guys are probably seeing this mess right here and like, oh my gosh, Brooke, what is going on there? Okay, so these are the poppies. They are done. They're tapped. I'm just waiting for the seed heads to form. I don't want to yank them because I want the seed heads. Now, Brad from Garden Evolution is probably going to kill me because I totally forgot to label these seed heads. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know that some of them actually turned out to be a little bit more purple-ish than I wanted. But, you know, I think I'm not going to stress about it because, as you can remember from the real purple section, these are really not purple enough to be in the purple section. They have way too much red, so I'm gonna leave them. So if I drop seeds, it's fine. Some of these, like I think some of the bigger ones like this, I want to say that this is one of the, I think it's one of the Flemish antique. I don't know. All I know is I'm probably going to have a really tremendous mix for next year, and that's fine because I have plenty of space to put them. And so what I'm going to do just to kind of make this look better until I can get the pods is that I'm just going to put some bamboo stakes in here, and I think I'm just going to bunch these together and tie them with twine so that they can grow, dry out. And then I think by tying them with twine, it's going to open, as you can see, it's already opened a lot of space here. But I think with this entire space being opened, I can go ahead and plant some of the new red things that I need to go in here, some of which are perennials. So, you know, if something is looking too gnarly, I may pull it, because I mean, it's not like I won't have enough pods, but it's, yeah. So, it's looking kind of sad right now, but I've got some red zinnia, I've got some yarrow that I grew from seed to go in here. I've got 2 red lupin, which are going to go in here. They actually still have blooms on them. I've got some scabiosa, Beaujolais scabiosa. I've got King of the Blacks carnations. And so I think once I get that in the ground, it should take off pretty quickly. And then, you know, hopefully by that point, I will have been able to harvest the pods and I can pull the bushes out. So this is the dahlia. This is Gideon. These are the Moulin Rouge sunflowers. Jen from Forever Blooms with Jennifer came over, and she loved these. These are great. I probably need to pay more attention to the seed heads because this is definitely something I want to repeat next year in the garden. That head right there is off, so I probably need to get a big organza bag and put it over that, so that way the birds and squirrels and mice don't get it, because sunflower tends to be their favorite food. And we're not going to pay attention to the background because it's messy. Okay, so this is the pink section right here. I did Angels Choir poppies in this section. These, I can tag them with the colors, because a lot of one plant put out so many blooms on one plant. It's absolutely amazing. And as you can see, they're still going. Let's see. That's the Boscobel rose, which, didn't do well. This is what happens when it rains too much. The leaves fall off. Thankfully, I don't have any balling yet, but I will have to clip those off. That right there is a hollyhock. That is Malva moschata. It's Malva moschata hollyhock, so it only gets 3 feet tall, and it is pink. This is Dahlia Takeoff, I believe. Wait, hold on, let me get a better bloom for you. And so that is very pretty. I love the cream center. And this baby right here is Verbascum. That's the Shades of Summer blend. It's very delicate. I'm sure next year it'll probably thicken up. As you can see, the gladiolus are coming up. The hollyhock here are the Antwerp hollyhocks, so they're not going to bloom next year, but I love the amount of growth they're putting in. They're going to be really well established for next year. So there's more of the Malva moschata. This is a white peony. This is part of the Angels Choir mix. I'm going to have to tag that as white so I could put it in the white section for next year. There's some beautiful reds. I'm going to have to tag those so I can put those in the actual red section. And I don't even remember which dahlia that is. I'll have to see when it opens. Down here is very ethereal looking. I've got Love in a Mist. It's the Mulberry Rose blend. And it's kind of mixing in with the poppies, which is creating a really it's kind of, I don't even know if the camera is really capturing it, but it has this really fuzzy quality, this entire section, like kind of almost like if something is out of focus. It's very pretty. The weeds in here have been crazy. Because all these plants are so tiny, I was trying to be careful not to bury things with mulch, but the downside is I got a lot of weeds, so I'm going to pull these. I do have pink zinnias and that sort of thing, so I think once I fill it in with other things, that'll help keep the weeding down for the rest of the season. Yeah, the Jubilee Celebration roses are not doing too great. I think I'm gonna cut them back and let them go. I do have fertilizer sticks to give them, so that should help. And yeah, so ooh, actually this is actually already starting to form a seed head. Okay, so let's go to the Memorial Garden. Okay, so this is the section for Grandpa Bonet. That's my dad's father. And so these are Snow Country dahlias. And so as you can see, they're getting ready to bloom. I did pinch them back this year, and so they're really, really thick. That is the Desdemona Rose, which is flushing out again. This is the green twister coneflower, which is why I was commenting on the one in the green section, because it is supposed to have green on the edges. So that's doing well. That's got loads of buds. That one does too. That dahlia is massive right there. This one I can see we've got the first bud getting ready to open. Okay, so this is the section for my mother's father, Grandpa Webb. And so this is, I believe, Soulman Dahlia. And once this dries out, I'm going to have to get these dead leaves out of here. This is Tessa the D'Urberville. I'm going to need to spray this, and yeah, because definitely with all this water, I'm seeing a fungal issue that I don't like. It's just not what I was not really happy with that. I mean, the top layer is good, but that bottom, I probably need to thin it out in the center to give it a little bit more air circulation. Some of these poppies, actually these heads, are almost, I think these are ones are almost ready to harvest. I'll let those dry out a bit, and then I can pull that, and I'll put some red zinnias in here. And here's another dahlia. This one's nice and big and thick. Okay. This is the section for my grandma, Bonet, my dad's mother. And so I'm doing a rosemary hedge. This thing was so tiny when I put it in. As a matter of fact, I've never actually seen a rosemary grow that much in one season. Rosemary typically grow very slow. And when we actually go on the other side, I'll show you what the other ones that are still in their container look like so you can see how much growth. Because honestly, it's probably at least doubled in size. This right here is a weed, so I'm going to pull that. Okay, so I put some poppies in here. These are the Amazing Gray. I don't know why they're so bleached out. And there's some red ones in here, so I think the seeds got mixed in here. But yeah, these are Amazing Gray, which these are kind of whitish. These are the purplish color they have. I gotta be honest with you, when I put them in, they looked so measly, and they gave these tiny little blooms. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it's like they filled in and flushed out with a vengeance, and now you see what I have. So I'm really impressed with that. This is a chrysanthemum right there. This is one of the ones I got from Bloomstone Perennials. It's called Peace. I'm going to have to deadhead it. Actually, I need to cut the entire thing back because, I don't know. Maybe I'll just let it go. Usually with chrysanthemums, you have to cut all the buds off by July to kind of like, so they'll bloom in the fall. And I've been a bad girl and haven't been doing that. So I don't know. This year, I just may deal with it, and and next year try to do better about it. Or you know what? Once it finishes blooming, I might cut it back just to see if it'll flush back again, because maybe it's one of those types of things that'll do that. But yeah, no, I love the look of them. And the thing is with these chrysanthemums, I think this one is the. Is this the incurve? I think it's the incurve. The heads don't open up. Oh, sorry. The heads really don't open up. Like, this is the shape of them. So, that's the Charlotte Rose. It's doing well. That's actually put on a lot of growth. I used the Job's fertilizer sticks, the rose ones. I think I did put 2. So it's getting consistent fertilizer, and it's really, really happy, as you can see. No fungal issues here. These are daylilies. They're lavender. I got these from the Stone Bridge Garden Peddler last year. This entire bed is supposed to be yellow and purple. I do have some purple zinnias that I'm going to pop in here. I'm going to also pop some of the sundial lupine, which will bloom purple, and that actually it's yellow at the top, purple at the bottom, so that'll be for next year. And then this is the section for Grandma Webb, my mother's mother. And hang on for a second, because I see this ginormous weed right here that's just absolutely massive. Okay. Oh my gosh, I see another one. Okay. I'm going to have to get in here and weed. So this is the pink and yellow color. So I've got another Desdemona, which it's really liking this spot. So I gave this one fertilizer sticks. Hold on a second. This one has fertilizer sticks too. I was waiting for a card pass. Hang on, guys. Actually, I'm going to stop because I'm almost out of time, and then I'll come back on when the traffic clears. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so this is the Desdemona Rose. I gave it the fertilizer stick too, and quite frankly, I mean, it really has put on a tremendous amount of growth. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the section for the grandmothers, because the roses in these 2 beds seem to be doing absolutely remarkable. The roses in the granddad's beds seem to be struggling, so I'm going to have to work on that and figure that out. This is another one of the mums that I got from Bluestone Perennial. I can't remember which one this is. Let me see. Oh, it's chiffon. So that's coming out nicely. Now these things back here, you're probably like, oh my gosh, those are dandelions. So those are the pink and yellow ones. So I'm waiting for them to bloom. So that's why those have not been pulled. So, and then of course there is, there's the fountain in its glory that you guys have been listening to. Now not all of this is grass. Some of this is the weeds I threw in this section, just to get them out of the way. So I'm going to try to fill these buckets and stuff today. So I have these sections on the side to do, and the same section on the other side to do. Now, as you can see from the chairs, I'm going to turn this corner. I'm going to put seating areas in the corners, so that way I have somewhere to sit, and that way I'll walk over here. Actually, let me show you the opening. It's going to be here. It's going to be pretty thin because I'm not trying to take up too much gardening space. And then basically, while you're sitting out here, you have the perfect view of the fountain. So it is coming along. You know, it's a lot of work starting a new garden. And I told Jen from Forever Blooms with Jennifer that I kind of took on a lot this year, and she was kind enough not to laugh at me. So anyway, let me show you the driveway beds, and then I'll show you the other stuff I've got to get planted. Okay guys, so this is kind of like my staging area for my projects. These are the driveway beds. That is a hibiscus. Those are hydrangeas back there, which really got sunburnt on the top from the heat. This right here is one of the Isaac Blend Scabiosa that I grew last year. Okay, so I put it at the front of the bed because it's only supposed to get 2 feet high. That is 4 feet high. So yeah, I don't know how they messed up on that one. That's Santa's Little Helper Daylily. That's Rosie Returns Daylily. That's Crystal Halo. I think it's a Siberian Iris. And then let's see. That right there is Dahlia Patches. I did not pull that last year. It overwintered. Okay, there's gladiolas that are starting to come up in the back. This little thin one right here, that is a foxglove that I got in the end of the year sale at the PHS Meadowbrook Farm. These are Lysianthus, which are getting ready to open. These are Rembrandt Snapdragons. The Jubilee Celebration Rose right there is definitely struggling. I think I'm going to have to cut that back. I guess it must have gotten black spot because completely defoliated. So I got to give it some fertilizer sticks. I'm sure that's going to help. And these right here are the mums that I planted last year. They were tiny. These things have like quadrupled in growth, and so I'm pleased. Oh, and guys, just look at this right here. So as you can see, I haven't been keeping up with the weeding out here. Look at that, Love and a Miss growing outside of the bed. That is from seeds that clearly fell out of those pods last year. This is the Daphne. It's doing well. This one over here is really struggling. I noticed after that heat wave, it just like, yeah, I don't even know what to think of that. I did scratch the stem. It is green. This part down here is, I guess it's okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a fungus, but I'll just watch it. There's more mums over here. These two are like growing into one plant. Let's see. The Kogain Fubuki Dahlia came back from last year. And so, yeah. Like I said, the hydrangeas, they burned so bad with this heat wave that we had. Those are the daylilies. And there's Santa's Little Helper back there. This is a tree that I took out last year that's coming back, and it's like vining. I'm going to cut it back. It's actually, once I start cutting it back, it's going to be fine. And I have the brush and vine killer by Bonite. I'm going to use on that to hopefully kill it for good this time. In this bucket, I've got, let's see, this is a dianthus. I'm gonna Chelsea chop this bad boy. I've got French vanilla marigolds that I'm gonna put in the bed with my maternal grandmother's memorial garden. This is a white yarrow for the white section. Dude, look at this thing spilling over. I hesitate to do it right now because I know that because it's there, it's keeping the weeds, other weeds from forming. But I gotta take that out. And I just realized that there is a wild raspberry back there. So, yes. I don't know how it got over here, but it did. Okay, so these are the carnations and stuff, and the yarrow going in the red section. Okay, so these are the Malva moschata white. Those are the 3-foot hollyhocks going in the white section. I started some green wildflowers to up the green color. Those are yellow zinnias. I see the snapdragons. These are perennial snapdragons that are yellow that are coming up. Here are the zinnias that I started. There's red, pink, orange, all colors. And so I'm going to put those in the ground. Here's the butterfly flower that I started. Here's the lupins that I got to get in the ground because they're like getting crazy big. I didn't think they were going to do that. And here are the other second batch of chrysanthemums. I was planning to bump them up to a new pot, but I guess, I think in further reflection, I'm just going to pop them out in the ground. So I'll check their root system, because if they have roots that are filling this out, they're going in the ground. I'm not going to waste time putting in. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. So, oh yes, and I forgot. I went to Pope's, and I went to Mr. Green Jeans, so I got some phlox, I got more yarrow, I got some yellow celosia. Those are the lupine I was talking about. So I have a lot to get planted. Oh, and there's some baby phlox over there too. So I'm probably being a little bit ambitious with getting all this in the ground, but I'm going to try. And this weekend, because it's 4th of July, I've got a 3-day weekend, so I'll get stuff in the ground, I'll get some weeding done, a lot of weeding done, and hopefully, next week I want to be able to finish the rest of the color wheel out in the Parterre Garden, and then, start getting some cleanup done, because my mom's coming at the end of the month. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.